I'm VIKKI EUGENIS. I'm 17 years old and I live in Brooklyn. I'm an actor/activist. Well, for the past few years, I've sort of just been using my art to, raise awareness about certain issues that girls face and women and just people in general, and it's been really cool. Okay, well, I'm in a play called Slut, and it's all about sexual assault and slut shaming. So we've sort of been touring around the States, and we have meetings called Stop Slut, and we sort of just give girls a space to talk about their sexuality and things that have happened to them, and rape, and sort of what we can do to change the way society views these things. And I also am in a play called A Day in the Life, which talks about sex trafficking, which is also really interesting and a really big problem in the United States. It was actually a long time ago. When I was in 6th grade, I joined the theater company, The Arts Effect, and at the time we were doing a play called Keep Your Eyes Open. So just picture a bunch of little loud girls with annoying voices talking about feminism and getting their periods and how we don't learn about women in school. And we did the Fringe Festival, and from there it sort of just sprouted, and then we did a second play called Facebook Me, which was all about how the internet is basically taking over our lives and how everything was sort of publicized on Facebook, so we can't live private lives. And then we came to Slut. We were all just sort of talking in class about all these stories that we had heard from our friends and things that we were experiencing as we were in high school, and starting to experiment with boys or even girls, and we sort of just felt the word slut just kept coming up. Everyone was dealing with issues, whether it be called a slut or a thought, or ostracized based on what they were doing with their bodies, or what they were doing at parties or whatever. And we felt it was sort of a double standard, because guys can hook up with whoever they want, and it's yo bro, it's lit, you're the man. And then girls hook up with someone, they're oh, she's such a slut, she's dirty. And we sort of just wanted to bring that to light and sort of use theater to show a certain story and bring awareness. In the story, there's a girl who is raped by her 3 best friends, and it's an all-girl cast, so it's really interesting. But then it shows her friends on the dance team who are actually called the Slut Squad, who sort of betray her, and they're oh, she was asking for it, it wasn't actually rape, blah blah blah. And then you show her best friend, whose brother was there when it happened, and she's sort of talking to her brother about how she should have done something. And then there's another girl who's talking to her mom about how she should have been there to help her friend. And we sort of get all the different sides of the story, and it sort of just shows how one incident can affect a whole community and how different people have different views on things. I'm on the dance team, so I play the girl's best friend who eventually turns on her, and sort of captain of the dance team. And we call ourselves the Slut Squad. And I think I have the most fun scenes in the show, because we start the show sort of dancing in the locker room, looking at ourselves in the mirror, and just talking about what we're gonna wear to the party that night. And then at the party is when the incident happens, and then our second scene, we're sort of there without the girl, and we just messed up a performance or something, and we're sort of just oh, it's her fault, and I'm yelling at my friend because she messed up the turn. And it's really interesting because I don't have the same views as my character. Obviously I would support my friend if she said that she was raped, and I would sort of take her side, but it's been really interesting to sort of see someone else's point of view, because my character is just really worried about everything being perfect. She's worried about the SATs and how her team is going to be viewed now that this has happened. And I think that's something that everyone worries about, sort of appearance and everything sort of going their way. So it's been really interesting to sort of play more of a negative view character. Yes, I am. I'm doing Gallows, which is the individualized major. You basically create your own major, and Because I love acting, obviously. I've been doing it all my life, but I sort of wanted to take it to the next level and also focus on how I can use my acting to sort of change the world in a way. And so I was talking to my advisor, and we sort of came up with the name like arts activism. So I'm planning on taking like a lot of human rights classes and like women's studies and sort of just current events, and then also putting that together with like acting and film and stuff. And I definitely want to continue doing plays like Slut and such like that, because I think theater is just a really great and easy way to sort of tell a story and also open people's eyes to things. And I don't know, it makes me feel really empowered when I perform the show and I see girls like standing up and being like, well, I was raped and the show like really helped me, and I just want to make art that'll help people too. I do Twitter at VIKKI. Facebook, you can do like Slut the Play if you want to. You might have future performances. Okay. You heard it first on LOCUM.